was tough. So then the other thing so this is on the Black Sea, a very, very exciting place. It's just like the south of France, without the wine, without the, good food or anything that goes with it. So then I had taken this plane back to Moscow, and we got to the stop-off place to get more gas to go back to the rest of the way. It's like if you wanted to go from Chicago to Houston, you'd have to stop in Denver on the way. And so in this third party, we got there, and there was no gas. And of course, I couldn't speak to the pilot, who was Russian. And finally, got the word across. And he said, we're going to get gas. And so then I see them taking a little truck going down, emptying gas from all of these planes that are sitting there from their wings. And I said, okay, now we've got the gas, now we can go. He said, no, we can't go. And he said, we have to wait for it to settle. I said, what? He said, the sand. So the sand is so they're going to put me in an airplane with got sand in the gasoline, and we already know it. But I tell you, by then I was ready to get out of there. So we did go home. And I would say that the last thing I'd say about Radisson, I want to think I'm going to do 2 more minutes before we go. We ended up with 8 hotels. The company was sold. The family that owned it sold it 2 years ago. There were 1,400 hotels in 115 countries with 6 brands, including Country Inns, Park Inns, Radisson, Radisson, Park Plaza. And so we went from losing $500,000 to selling it for $2 billion. So I think we did good in the beginning of Radisson. And then the last thing that I did that I'd like to just mention, some of you know this is one of the newer hotels. This is the last Radisson that was added. It's called Radisson Blue. This was a building that was built by Stalin. He built 7 buildings. They all look exactly alike in the city, and they're called the Seven Sisters. And one is at the university, and I don't know where all the others are. But it's a beautiful building, and this is now a Radisson Hotel. Over the years, we'd held meetings in Radisson to what we're going to do in the future. Are we going to have assisted living places, et cetera, when you have a brand on every corner? One of them was considering cruise ships. And one day, 2 businessmen from Finland knocked on my door and said, we'd like you to manage a ship that we're going to build. And it was going to be a unique swath ship, single wide area, twin hull ship, that is called. 2 big hulls, both of which have engine rooms underneath them. Very expensive to build, so you didn't really want to own it, but we ended up making a deal with them and owned a part of it. And I went up to Finland to weld a diamond in the hull of this, because it was going to be called the Radisson Diamond. And I hired the best decision I made in this business. I hired a hotel manager from an Italian hotel from Italy who had worked in the cruise business. I moved him to Finland, where he lived for a year or 2. We had plenty of people watching the construction of the engines, but we needed somebody watching the rooms and the guest rooms and the kitchens and the restaurants. And then I hired a personnel director. What did I know about hiring people that wanted to work 6 months a year at sea? I didn't know anything about it, but we thought we could figure it out. And these are the 2 guys that were crucial to the high quality that we did achieve. I spent a lot of time getting the design right. We wanted a very high level, wanted to prove that it could be done. So what could go wrong? Everything is up to timing. We made our deal in 1989. The ship was launched in 92. And the first disaster was the Berlin Wall fell. And most Finnish companies had bought small pieces of the ship and had also booked a ship for days or a week after the launch. Since almost every Finnish company got most of its business from Russia, they lost it all after the fall of the wall. And they canceled all their bookings. So the first month of our bookings was gone. And the second month we had booked at the Barcelona Olympics. We had Coca-Cola filling the ship for most of that time. And then I got a phone call that this is the Radisson Diamond. Then I got a call that said that a ship had sunk in our pier location at the Barcelona pier. And I said, well, we'll pay to have it raised. And then I had to fly to Madrid and talk to a lawyer. After a week or so, he said, well, he said, you're not going to get it up. You're not going to get out of the water. This is an insurance deal, and it's down there on purpose. And he said, you're going to lose that battle. So he said, just get it up. So we ended up parking our lovely ship 25 miles away, lost most of the Coca-Cola business. And so month 2 was a disaster. So I would say we built a high-quality ship, and we did keep running it, and it became very highly regarded. We ended up making it was registered as the first or second best cruise ship in the cruise business. And then I got a call from a fellow in Monte Carlo, and he wanted to make a deal with me. He said, I run the largest cargo vessel line, and he said, we might not make a deal with you. I didn't know who he was, but I knew his boss. His boss was actually from Chicago, so I did know him. And we ended up buying 3 hulls from the Russian Navy, because not only did the Finns run out of money, so did the Russians, and so they couldn't build these ships for their Navy, and they already built 3 hulls. So we ended up buying the hulls, putting cruise on top. I only got 1 done while I was still working, and the other 2 were underway. But the first one was the Radisson Navigator, which some of you might have been on. And so in the end, we ended up having 3 more ships coming on from there. And they just built another ship that I think it got launched the week before COVID started. And I'm not sure they really have anything. They're booking now, and they're advertising 30th anniversary. So at some point, Radisson, Radisson Hotels bought the name Radisson Regent Hotels. So we own Radisson and Regent as well. And then we changed the name of the Radisson Diamond to Radisson Regent 7 Seas Cruises. And so we had that. And the first ship that came out, and then I'm done. The first ship, so you can go out and get their dinner. Oh my goodness, I'm running way over. By then I had retired. I was living in Sea Pines, and the Navigator was sailing. And I had a neighbor in Sea Pines that came back from that first week's cruise. Said that ship is not safe. It's going to sink. So I called the president of the cruise line that I had working for me, and I said, well, what the hell was going on with the cruise there, the first inaugural cruise? And he said, well, you remember those hulls you bought from the Russian Navy? He said, well, a Navy ship is built to turn very quickly to avoid a torpedo. Well, cruise ships are not made to turn that quickly, and ours did. And he said, we saw a wooden sailboat didn't get picked up on the radar. And when they said it was there, they had to make a quick turn. All the china and the glasses and the television, everything fell over. But anyway, we avoided the torpedoes, and we have had a very successful Regent 7 Seas, and they're advertising 30 years in business now, which is 30 years from the launching of this ship. So I think many of you might have cruised on one of those. In closing, I'd just like to take a look at some of the other things I did over the 50 years. I have done some paintings, and after my wife got me interested, I started painting. I've been doing it for 50 years, and now you're allowed to leave. Or questions. It's not too bad.
terrific.
All right.
You did good. You did good.
Okay.
Everybody likes stories.
Thank you for all coming, and I know you have a story to be told. So come see me, and we'll put you on the schedule. Next month we have Bob Stryker. He's going to talk to you, and his topic is how I got to Tide Point selling drugs.
Yeah,
Good
did
job.
that worked all right?
Yeah.